Section 6.1, example 6, writing a function from a description. So write the equation for the function described below, give the horizontal asymptote, domain, and range. So f of x is equal to e raised to the power x. So vertically stretched by a factor of 2. Let's take a look at what each of these different parts is. So we'll use e as our base. So a times e raised to the power x minus h plus k. So vertically stretch by a factor of 2. To vertically stretch a graph, we just have to make sure that this is greater than 1 to vertically stretch it. And by a factor of 2, that's going to be a positive 2. So far with that one, we have f of x is equal to 2 e to the power of x minus h plus k. So vertically stretched by a factor of 2, reflected across the y-axis. So to reflect about the a-axis, this or the x-axis, this has to be negative, but to reflect about the y-axis, this one has to be negative. So we could either change the base and say 1 over e, or we could just make that exponent negative. 2e raised to the negative x minus h plus k. So we took care of that part. So stretch vertically by a factor of 2, check. Reflect across the x-axis, check. Then shift it up 4 units. They didn't mention anything about a horizontal shift, so let's take care of that part. So 2e raised to the negative x, h, not there. And then shifted up 4 units. Up is going to be plus, and then 4 units here. All right, let's take a look at this. So vertically stretched by a factor of 2, that's where this one came into play. Reflected across the y-axis, that's where this negative came from. And shifted up 4 units, that's where this 4 came from. All right, that's our function. F of x is equal to 2e raised to the negative x plus 4. And now we just have to find these parts, our domain, range, and asymptote. It's a domain, range, and vertical asymptote, or horizontal asymptote. Domain, simple for all of these. It's negative infinity to infinity or all real numbers. The range is determined by the asymptote. So the asymptote for one of these graphs is normally y is equal to 0. But whenever we shift those graphs up and down, we reflect it. So our asymptote here is going to be y equals 4 because we shifted our graph up 4 units. And now normally what I would want to say is that we start off at 4 and go to infinity. But remember, we reflected about the y-axis. So now instead of going up this way, what we're doing is going down. Oh, no, I lied. It's y-axis. So instead of going up this way, it's coming down this way. So our range is going to be normal. So our range is going to be from 4 to infinity. And if you had any doubts, you could always graph these and see where you're at. So we'll say y equals 2 e to the x e raised to negative x and plus 4. And looking at that, it looks like our y equals 4 is our asymptote here. And it doesn't matter how far you zoom in, that black graph is always going to be just slightly above the red line. And there we go. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.